She's got golden scales developing on her back. Like, what is Bristol?
I love a good maze.
What is she?
What
The
monster
happened to her ferret?
I look so rough right now. I just finished like a very long day at work, but I came home to this amazing Amazon package, and guess what's in this package? Yes, the new released book by Mary E. Pearson, The Courting of Bristol Keats. And I'm going to make this into a reading vlog because I'm so excited about this book. And yeah, that was before I knew that it is potentially spicy. Yeah, it's like her first adult book that she's ever written. Guess what? I bought it back in January, and if it gets bad, I can always stop, you know? I can always stop. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to end up recommending it, unfortunately, but I'm still going to read it because I got the special edition. Like, look at this! Like, look at it! The sprayed edges, like... like, it is so beautiful. This is a big book. It's chunky. Has some weight to it. Come along with me for this little reading vlog as I discover the new world of Mary E. Pearson and her adult fantasy. Let's do it! I just want to give you a brief update. I'm on chapter 10, which looks like this. I really like our main character, Bristol Keats. She's very entertaining. She also is a middle child between an older and a younger sister. I'm a middle child between a younger sister and an older brother, so that's kind of fun. And they're orphans, because of course they are. They're kind of low-key discovering, or at least Bristol is, discovering that her parents aren't who she thought they were all of her life. And they have all these like hidden secrets and stuff. We're getting two POVs, so two different perspectives. One of them being this fairy guy, and then the other one being hers. And yeah, it's interesting because her parents, we know from the perspective of the fairy guy, we know that her parents were actually from the fairy world, and they were kind of like running from the fairy world. They were trying to like escape it. That's how they ended up dying, low-key. But Bristol doesn't know that yet. She keeps getting letters from these so-called family members, but she's never met them before. And she's like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
They want to meet her. And they're like, hey, we have like something to give you. We need you to meet us here. And Bristol, just like any other sane person, is like, that's really weird, and is ignoring the letters. But they keep coming, and they're coming like almost on a daily basis now. And they're like really harassing her. Long story short, she ends up going and meeting the person that's like sending her all these letters. And it's quite entertaining. It's quite entertaining because she's realizing that these are like not people. They're creatures, okay? They're like fairy creatures. Apparently they need her for some kind of mission. I don't know. I haven't quite figured out what kind of mission they need her for yet. They had all of this art lined up, and they're trying to get her to take one. And you know how fairies use like magic and tricks and stuff to get you to do what you don't want to do? Yeah, well, they have it set up to where whenever she picks a piece of this art, she's like bound in commitment to their king and has to help them. So yeah, that's where we are right now. It's a unique setup, I feel like. Anyway, that's my update. I'm on chapter 10. Let's keep going.
Yes, and this is the question. This is the question that has been on my mind for a while now. Who is Willow? Because from what we know right now, she's just a harmless, homeless lady. But you know what? I think Willow is the monster. I said it. There. I said it. I think she is. On chapter 26, an update. Her parents definitely aren't who they... I have hot chocolate on my mouth. I do. Pardon me. Anyway, her parents definitely are not who she thinks they are. Her mom and dad do be just prancing around this fairyland, allowing their children to think they're dead in the real world. Not very good parent behavior. That's all I'm gonna say. Chapter 27 update. Is Bristol's mother the monster? Like, we're having a little flashback moment. And her father was supposedly a mortal knight in the Fae Kingdom. And he was sent on this quest to kill this female monster that was terrorizing the land. Hi. I just wanted to give you a quick update for the book. We have a maze situation, and y'all know I love a good maze situation in a book. So, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, for the past few days, I have not gotten past like 5 pages of this book. I don't know, I think it's a me problem because I try and read it whenever I get off work and I'm just so overstimulated that I can't focus, so I end up rereading the same page multiple times and I still really don't know what's going on, but I know there's some kind of like trial situation going on in Fairyland for the new recruits, and Bristol's one of the new recruits, and she has to pass this test and use magic and stuff, but she can't use magic because she doesn't know how. But they all think that she can, so she's kind of hiding the truth or whatever from them. So I don't know, I'm still kind of figuring that out, but we have a maze, so my hopes are high. It's always good when there's a maze involved. Not good for the person, but good for me because it's entertaining. Okay, I am currently just finished with chapter 46, about to start chapter 47. It's like page 230, and I'm not gonna lie, the romance between the two characters is not super believable for me. I guess I'm used to more banter leading up to romance, but there's really been virtually no banter, and it's really disappointing. We are discovering more about Bristol's parents, which I don't know how I feel about them. Her dad like got around a lot, and her mom is literally a monster. I don't know, I'm a little confused there. Also, I really don't know how I feel about the fact that Bristol's father was Tigan's friend that he grew up with. It makes me think that Tigan is older than he actually is, and it kind of grosses me out. Because I know Tigan is supposed to be in like his mid to late 20s, and Bristol just turned 22, which is fine. That's a fine age difference. But when Tigan is having memories about growing up with Bristol's father, I know there's like this weird thing because, you know, he's of an elven race and Bristol's father is not. He's of the mortal race. So I know that time flows differently for the two races, but it still is like really weird to me because I'm like, I do not like the idea of a father's best friend romance, okay? Well, they're not best friends anymore, let me clarify. They're not best friends anymore because there was like a falling out, and
Tygan now, like, literally hates Bristol's father. And Bristol is still looking for him throughout all of Elfhame. And then we got one chapter where it was from Bristol's father's point of view. And I can't say that I like him as a character. I was like, Bristol, sweetie, maybe you should just go back home and live with your sisters and forget about your dad, okay? Because I'm like... And I'm so confused about her mom. Because, like, is she actually a monster? Because they keep referring to her as if she's, like, literally a monster. And I'm like, I have a lot of questions. And so far I'm not really sold on the romance. The world building is decent. It's okay. But the romance and the banter, I'm like, I need more. I need more. This is not enough. Those are my thoughts right now. This is a chapter update for chapter 59 of The Courting of Bristol Keats. And I'm disturbed deeply to my bones. Like, what is going on with this tick, bro? That let me read you what's on this page. Let me just give you a taste of what's on this page, okay? There's magic sucking ticks in this world. And if you get one of these magic sucking ticks on you, you have no magical abilities, which is why Girly doesn't have any magical abilities, even though they're all like, you should. And she's like,
oh, well, I do have this birthmark on my back.
And apparently the tick is on her birthmark. Just listen, okay?
Tygan remembered Bristol pressing her hand against her lower back on the first night there. He'd thought it was only a backache because she was unaccustomed to riding a horse. He had removed ticks from creatures before, even one from August's fetlock. None of the ticks had ever been much larger than how they started out, about a half an inch across, and still only a smooth, pale shadow beneath the skin as they fed on their host's magic, sucking up their innate abilities until someone removed them. The black, shadowy creature buried underneath Bristol's flesh covered her whole lower back.
I'm sorry, come again? Come again? Like, what? What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'd be going on the first bus back home. Ain't no way I'd be staying there. It got worse. I didn't think it could get worse. It got worse. Let me indulge you, okay? So, it's a black shadowy creature buried underneath the skin of her entire lower back.
Its crooked legs were as thick as an ogre's thumb and twisted across her spine. Its body alone was the size of his palm. The dark shadow shifted beneath her skin like it was settling in with a tighter grip, like it knew it was being watched.
This world has shadowy, sentient ticks that are the size of small dogs. I think not. I think not. We're going home. Also, to get my mind off of the horrific tick situation, I just want to tell you also, there was a battle scene. And the battle scene with Bristol and Rose getting stuck in the maze during it and getting, like, low-key hunted by one of the little creatures, it was intense. I loved it. It was great. It was probably, like, the most involved I've been in this story yet. So, there's that. Update on the tick situation before I start chapter 60.
They ripped off one of its legs.
They were trying to pull it out, but they ripped off one of its legs, and apparently it's angry and doesn't want to let go because it's, like, drunk on 20 years of magic or whatever. But during that struggle, some of Bristol's own magic was released back into her bloodstream, and now Girly has, like, instead of the little moons you have for your cuticle nail beds, she has blue spikes. And one of the characters said, yeah, she's definitely not immortal. She's not amortal, is what I meant. So I'm like, Girly's about to have her Princess Diaries transformation. Yay.
In Paolo's hands, remember. You will be you. You have a thicker hair, but like a wolf. He's all right. And give you
a princess.
I just audibly gasped in a public place. King Cornic? Yeah. The enemy of, like, the entirety of Elfheim? Bristol knows him. You know what? I'm convinced everyone that lives in her little real-world small town is also part of Elfheim. Something's not right in this small town, right? Everybody is related to the fairies. I audibly gasped. So, that counts for something.
Just as an update, I'm on chapter 103, and I've got about 50 pages left, I think. So I think I'm about to finish this book. I'm invested, and I have a lot of feelings about what's going on, but I'm also, I don't know how I'm feeling about it right now. I'll update you again in a second. Okay, things are getting intense. I can't say that I'm entirely on Bristol's side either, because it's a long story, but her parents are not who she thought they were all of her life, and to make a long story short, they're wanted in Fairyland, right? But she's defending them because, like, oh, they're her parents, and she's, like, holding on to this idea she has of them, of what she thinks they are, when that's not the reality of what they are. And yeah, they're complex, sure, like I understand why they made the choices they did in the moment, but also at the same time, there are consequences for your actions, babes, okay? I'm like, why are you defending them? Like, she just tried to attack the elf king because she's, like, walking in the throne room demanding things that she really kind of low-key has no business demanding. I'm like, not a good look. I don't know if I'm on your side at this point. Like, if I were in the situation, I'd be like, look, right, I hear you, but they're criminals, okay? They did some terrible things. We can't just let them go scot-free, you know? Like, which is what she's demanding. And I'm like, babe, this is not reality, okay? So that's where I'm at right now. It is currently 3 a.m. and I can't sleep, so I'm reading because of course I am. I'm currently on chapter 110, which is the very last chapter in this book, and I wanted to save this chapter to read together because I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of thoughts. So yeah, let's go. What the actual heck was that? I'm just gonna say it's a bold move to end your book with a spicy scene. I have so many questions that did not get answered. And you have the audacity to end on a spicy scene. I have questions, and none of them were answered. And this book might be a 3-star for me. I'm gonna have to read something else because honestly, that just made me mad. Like, what was that? I was so excited about the last chapter, and that's what it was. I'm a little offended, not gonna lie. I'm a little offended. Like, the ferret?
What happened to her ferret?
I need to know. I need to know. Like, that is not something that you leave hanging.
The snake had a bulge in his belly. Did the snake eat the ferret? I need to know.
These are important details. These are important details that I'm missing. And Bristol's father? Where is he? Where did he go? Nobody knows. Are you telling me that I'm going to have to read another 450-page book to get these answers? Y'all, I'm mad. Now I really can't sleep. This has ruined my night.
A few moments later.
No, we're just gonna end the book on like this weird conflict between the two main characters. And then they're gonna have like a toxic couple argument. And then it's gonna end on a spicy scene. I'm sorry, what the heck? I'm mad.
2 hours later.
Yeah, because she went to go find her father or whatever. Tigan had to do the little magic spell to go see where she's at, but then that opened the portal in his mind to the demons from where the blade pierced him like years ago or whatever. And now he's like demon possessed.
And Bristol cures him by singing to him. Of all the ridiculous ways. I'm sorry. No. That ending ruined the whole book. Maybe this book is a 2-star for me. You know, I really feel like I wasted my time.
1 eternity later.
Y'all, Bristol still has a tick on her back. Bristol still has a tick the size of a baseball on her back. And nobody's talking about this. How do you have the tick? How do you have a tick the size of a baseball on your back? And you end the book without explaining first. Like, Girlie's mom is a monster, right? And as the tick is slowly releasing its magic into her system or whatever, or releasing her magic into her system because it's a tick that's like preventing her from having her full magical capabilities or whatever. As the tick is slowly releasing that into her, like, she's got these weird nails developing. She's got golden scales developing on her back. Like, what is Bristol? What is she? Important questions, and none of them, I repeat, none of them are answered. I'm gonna go rant to my sister about this book.